Alright guys, in this video, we are going to be talking about a shift in the perspective of the channel, what you can look forward to going forward in regards to all of the art related content that you're going to see. We also got pretty big announcement for the channel, and then yeah, we're going to even spoil some of the upcoming video topics to kind of give you an idea of where we are headed as a channel. But hey, we got a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so while we discuss all of these kind of changes and announcements and all that fun stuff, check out this time lapse of a painting that I did in Clip Studio Paint and Rebel. I jumped back and forth between them. If you've noticed, I've been uploading some more YouTube shorts, and that's actually part of what we're going to talk about. But yeah, so I kind of went back and forth, but here is really the kind of the hardcore rendering pass, I guess I would say, to where I'm going in with some finer brushes, some more detailed brushes, primarily just two brushes. And I know I always talk about Ray Frendon's brush pack for Clip Studio Paint, but I love it, and I'm using two brushes here. The Photoshop, so like the fake Photoshop, both the standard Photoshop brush and then also the Photoshop wet brush, which kind of has a nice blend to it based on the pressure you put on your stylus. But anyway, yeah, this one was called the Queen of Thorns. This actually has to do with the fantasy personal project that I'm working on that I discussed in Ask Wes episode 2, which if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But let's talk about the channel. So, you know, 2023, new year, new you, all that stuff. I brought back Wes vs. Backlog, which is a video game show where we just kind of hang out and play games. But I'm primarily an art channel, and that part's never going to change. So I'm going to get that kind of out of the way first. The goal is always going to be build the nice creative community. You know, we help each other through the trials and tribulations of being an artist, no matter if you're a traditional artist or a digital artist. But with digital art, it's just easier to capture the footage and discuss it. And, you know, I'm a crazy person and I buy way too many pieces of software. So that's why we can kind of bounce in between all the different softwares. Now, to be completely open, even if you go on to my main channel page, I have a playlist just for my popular uploads. By far and away, the most popular upload is going to be the What Digital Painting Program is Right for You. It's like a 2-hour video, almost 2 hours, I think. And it just reviews some really popular painting programs. A lot of them. I mean, there's a few that it didn't cover. I don't think it covered any mobile apps, and I don't think it covered Corel Painter. And there's some independent ones like Metabang and like Project Dog Waffle and stuff like that I didn't cover. But that part's going to be changing. So really, I had to kind of sit down, and I even, you know, talked with the wife and all this other stuff, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm loving the community that I already have and that I'm building, but it feels like me and YouTube just aren't seeing eye to eye. Like, the type of content I'm interested in making doesn't necessarily make for stuff that's interesting to watch. And ironically, I think this video, the one about the channel announcements and stuff, is not going to get seen by a lot of people. But that's where I feel like, because it's this type of episode, that I can kind of navel gaze and ask the questions and stuff. So you can know where my head's at before we do this big kind of, I guess, reboot of the channel. But I was like, okay, it makes total sense that digital art overview, software overview video is the most popular one because it's the most helpful. It is the most helpful video on my channel. It gives, you know, basically buying recommendations and stuff like that. And for a lot of people, I mean, well, for a vast majority of people, actually, YouTube is a place of learning. You know, I worked at a college for many years, did professional development, I taught college courses, and something that I would always bring up is the future of education is stuff like YouTube. It really is. Because if I need to learn how to change a car battery, or like work on a transmission, or do another trade, or like fix a plumbing pipe or something like that, do I have to now go enroll in, a trade school to be able to learn how to do that, or just spend a ton of money? I mean, depending on the complexity of the project, I will definitely spend money to get like proper plumbing done. But you can learn the basics on YouTube. It's super helpful. You just type in, hey, I need to change the, I did this not too long ago. I had to change the battery terminals on my car battery. What better place than YouTube? You got pro car mechanics that are showing you how to do this stuff. And it saves you money, it saves you time, you feel better about yourself after you do something cool that you've never done before. Like, I get it. Totally get it. And to be completely open and fair, kind of the artistic minutia stuff, like, oh, how do you conquer artist block? And how do you, stay motivated? Those are fine topics. And I really like that because they are helpful. Those are the type of the mental stigma stuff that artists go through that not everybody really touches on. A lot of channels do. I think Adam Duff, Lucid Pixel, he's fantastic at it. He's actually, in my opinion, the best in the world at it. So if you're a fan of that type of video, I think Adam Duff has it on lock, man. He's a smart guy. He's a pro. He's worked on some incredible stuff. That guy's a genius, in my opinion. But they're not for everybody, right? And digital art, I've always talked about this, kind of should be for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it should be something that we can all enjoy, that we can all share a love of, no matter what your quote-unquote art style is. That part doesn't matter. The fact that now we can easily and accessibly make and create and share things is awesome. And I think having kind of a little art guardian angel might help with that. Of like, hey, let's compare and contrast different programs and things like that. So with that being said, I do want to hop in to discuss some of the future video topics and kind of what the shift is going to be in the channel, just to give you an idea of where my head's at and kind of what the future looks like. So I want to move away from those art philosophy videos, I think. Dealing with the burnout and prepping your portfolio for the jobs and stuff. While that is tangible, useful information, it's kind of hard to find it. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna type into the YouTube search bar to find something like that? Or wouldn't you go to one of your buddies on Discord and ask how they deal with it? You know what I mean? Like, it's very much a more personal thing, which is why I like doing those videos. But they don't really provide a service, I guess. At least not in the way that the other stuff does. And I kind of want to focus on the more tangible things. So like comparable things between software, kind of to help in your either studying or even buying decisions, really. It's not necessarily going to do project or product reviews. I don't know if I'm super interested in that so much. I mean, maybe, and this could evolve into that, who knows. But it's more like a showcasing strengths and weaknesses of programs and comparing them, but not in an adversarial way, because easily this type of thing can turn into like, this program's terrible, but this one's awesome, and if you use this one, you're a bad person. And like, you will never find that type of crap on my channel. I'm not gonna do. I refuse. In fact, that's why I haven't done more of those like digital art comparison product videos, because I don't want it to turn into some adversarial, versus it's us versus them, man, and down with them. Like, no. There's too much of that crap on YouTube. I ain't doing it. It's not gonna happen. So what I really want to do is start flexing between these different programs to see how they compare on very specific things. Now, some good, almost like a software showdown type thing, right? to where I want to kind of compare and contrast certain functionalities. So, okay, here's a few exact examples of videos I have on my mind that we will be making. I just don't know what the timeline looks like. So, like, what are some really cool watercolor brushes for non-Rebel software? So Rebel's kind of the industry standard on watercolor. It just, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, it has the best watercolor engine. It has dripping water. It has like hair dryer things that you can do, and you can tilt the canvas and the water speckles differently. Like, it's really in depth. But let's say you just want to use Krita, or you just want to use Clip Studio Paint, or Art Rage, or, you know, Paint Storm Studio, or hell, even like Procreate or Art Studio Pro or whatever. And you want to know how to make like a decent looking watercolor. Make it look somewhat real, but kind of stylized. Like, you can call it your own. You know what I mean? But let's compare that. Like, how well does Krita do watercolor stuff versus Clip Studio Paint? Like, I'm kind of curious. And this is really what this is I'm actually more curious about this stuff. So it's one of those things that I would like to make a project that uses both softwares and then like report on my findings. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of that, giving the information of like, here's what my experience was. It's not going to be everybody's experience. It's very, very subjective. I am not here to be any sort of king or lord emperor over what the best digital art software is. I think all of them are great at things and all of them are terrible at things, and it depends on your goal and what you need. And it'll always be that way. So there's no, in my opinion, there's no real bad art program. I've used some that crash a lot, and that's a shame, but like the functionality that they have is great. So I'm never gonna, you know, poo-poo a, you know, art software. I mean, people are developing these things. These are software engineers and artists that want to make the best product possible and share it with the world, you know? And yeah, sure, they're running a business and they need to make sales, but it's also like they made this the same way we make paintings or we make drawings or music or whatever. Their calling was software. They are software engineers, and it's to treat them with the utmost of respect because it's their passion project. Like, they've made a thing, you know, no matter how big or small the company is, or it's a one-man show. I'm actually going to review one that is a one-man show, and it's freaking phenomenal. So there's things like that, right? Like, another big one. So another big idea is like, okay, let's get to the nitty-gritty. What is the best between Rebel and Art Rage? What has the best digital oil paints? Which ones are the easiest to use? Which are the most fun to use? How does it look? Like, I know my good friend Daniel Ibanez, he did a video like this a few years back, actually. I think it was on like Art Rage 4 and Rebel 3 or something, or maybe Rebel 4 at the time. Really cool, right? So shout out to him for kind of being the the journeyman that did this first, or one of the big people that did this first, and it's a great review. So go check out Daniel Ibanez's channel. I think I have it linked in my channel down at the bottom of like featured channels, so go check that out. But yeah, I want to get to the nitty gritty. What's my thought? What do I think has the best oil paints? Or like, you're seeing me use Clip Studio Paint here. Could I have done the same type of rendering in Krita? Could I have done the same thing in like Metabang? Or, you know what I mean? Like, why did I choose Clip Studio over the other ones to render this piece in particular? You know what I mean? I want to get to that type of stuff because I think there's something tangible there. I think it's something useful. And even if my review, I say I prefer something, one program over another, based on that kind of look, I want you to be able to make your preferred decision, even if you choose the one I didn't. Like, I think my job is to show, it's to be a purveyor of information, and I will be a presenter of information. But then, based on what your needs are and where you're at on your artistic journey, the decision making will be different. So I'm not here to dictate what is better or worse. I really want to focus on like the pros and cons of all of it. You know what I mean? I hope that's making sense. Another one. I need to find the program with the best digital palette knife. I need to find it. I really do. I have some ideas. I have a top 3 already, but I need to put them through the test. I really do. So it's that type of stuff, right? So yeah, like, and on that note, like, what I want to do is, we can take a look at more of the this versus that or the software showdown type stuff. But I thought what would also be interesting, and I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on this, is maybe you do want to know what my specific preference is on things. Maybe you do want to know, well, okay, what are my favorite, Rebel brushes? What are my favorite Krita features? What are the things that I look for whenever I install a digital painting software that says it gives you a traditional look? Like, what am I specifically, Wes Gardner, the artist for Star Wars and Warhammer, what do I look for? My favorite, definitely like brush settings. That seems to be a big one. And then talk about the why. Like, why do I use those settings as opposed to something else? Because that way other skilled artists can come into the comment section and be like, hey man, I like the fact that you use these brushes, but have you by chance tried these under, this menu item? I think you'll really like this one or this one or this one. And that's helpful for everybody because I'll see it and then I'll have a new cool toy to play with. But then also people watching that read the comments will be like, oh, I need to try that out too. And we just all, we all grow together. And what's the saying about like high tides, raise all ships or whatever? That's a very big thing for me. I truly want the community to be able to like have each other's back. I'm more about the positive reinforcement about look how cool all of this stuff is. Instead of like, well, you use that, you're garbage, man. Like, no way. No way. If I see any of it, you're blocked. Get that crap out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's all supportive, man. It's all love here. So, so those are just some ideas about the art side of things. Go away from the more esoteric art philosophy topics. We might do some every now and then, especially if I get a lot of comments or people asking questions on a Q&A and I start noticing stuff. But really, it's about what's replicable results. What are my recommendations? If you're on the search for that perfect art program, what are my thoughts on this? And the nice thing is, instead of one like 2 or 3 hour long, huge video every 2 or 3 years about here's 75 art programs that you should use. Like, let's break it down. Let's talk about specifics. Let's talk about what has the best pencil brush, or if you're looking for charcoal in a digital space, like what does that look like? You know what I mean? Like, let's do that. That's more doable. It's smaller videos. You only need to watch the ones you're interested in. Like, it's a better service to the community at large, in my opinion. And I think one that I'm actually working on right now, or that I'm about to start working on, is techniques. So let's say you're talking about, okay, my favorite settings or whatever, or, this versus that. What about actual art techniques? Now, I do sell very kind of in-depth tutorials about things like color theory and painterly, digital painting to look like traditional type stuff. I do it through Skillshare and places like Flip Normals and QBrush and Gumroad and all that. Like, so I have those stores set up for the really long form, multiple hour, real-time stuff. But what's to say I couldn't do something on YouTube like, hey, here are 3 things that you should look for when you're rendering a painting. Or, hey, if you always hear artists talking about edge control, like sharp edges versus soft edges versus hard edges versus lost edges, what does that mean and where should you use those? Or like values. I always harp on values. So what are some good value tips and tricks that you can use quick and start seeing tangible results? I keep going back to that word. I want actionable items. I think that'll be kind of the future of what this channel is. Like, hey, I'll be your art guardian angel. Let's get you where you want to be. Where are your goals? Let me find the right software for you. I think there's something to that, you know. Yeah, and like color recipes. So I already have the first color theory series that I did called Simplifying Color Theory. I'm doing part 2 right now, so spoiler alert, that's coming soon. But there's certain things in that I could break out and give away just for free. Like, what's the best time to use color recipes? So color recipes, by that I mean things like analogous colors, or, oh, I have the triadic color scheme, or complementary, cross-complementary, all the stuff you kind of hear in what people think color theory is. Where do you use those? What are some good examples of that? Things like that. I think those could be really helpful, and they're fairly easy to make, to be honest with you, because you just show a color wheel, you talk about it, you show some examples, you give some tips, and you're done. You know, in and out, 20 minutes, you're good. But yeah, so those are some of the ideas that I've got kicking around. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please let me know what you think in the comments, because I think this is just going to be better for the channel, but not that only, but better for the community at large. I think that is going to start building up more positivity and getting out of some of the ruts that I've seen across YouTube. Because I'm not interested in the drama. Dude, I'm a 37-year-old father of, about to be father of 3. I ain't got time for, no, get that crap out of here. Like, no, this is a supportive place. We're gonna make our dreams come true. That's how this works, okay? Yeah, definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. But I think now it's time for the big announcement. So because I'm kind of hitting this reset button, or the reboot button, I should say, on the channel, bringing more focus on YouTube in general. Like, I'm making multiple videos a week now. Like, it's going to happen, until we get maybe another big gig, and I might take a month off, but then I'll come back. But the goal is to make videos that kind of stand up, even if I go on hiatus for, 6 weeks to work on the next big project or whatever. Because I am a working artist. That's my #1 full-time job. That's what I do. So that always comes first. But to build up kind of a library of super helpful resources that are as timeless as possible. So I know different programs will like update and stuff and change things, but really that's why I like the art theory stuff like edges or value. That stuff's kind of timeless. That's your fundamentals. So if we work on some fundamental stuff, if we do some comparisons and contrast and pros and cons and all that stuff, I think that's going to age a little better. But because we're hitting all that stuff when we're not working full time on the art stuff, or we wrap up a big project and I'm not out of work, but I have a way less stressful schedule for 8 weeks, we can grind out a ton of awesome videos, But that being said, because of the big reboot, because of the new focus, I'm actually opening up YouTube memberships. So it might be live by the time this video comes up. If not, it should be live very soon, within the week. It's going to be $4.99 flat fee. That's it. I'm not going to do any like, oh, this tier is this and this tier is this. $5 a month. You get exclusive access to Discord servers. You'll get exclusive access to every video, whether it's the art videos, the Ask Wes Q&A videos, or the West versus Backlog, even the gaming videos. Everything on the channel you will get exclusive access to first. Before it goes live around the world, you'll get to see it. You'll get in-channel acknowledgements. You'll see stuff in your credits. You'll see stuff in the kind of the comments, and that's kind of the description section. You'll see your stuff there. I'm gonna get exclusive emojis set up. I know that's silly, but hey, it's a thing. You're gonna have badges. You're gonna be top commenter. You're gonna be priority list on all of the Q&A videos. So yeah, but really I think the big thing is you'll get exclusive access to the Discord. And that is going to be a place where you can ask for art critiques, you can show off your stuff, you can like collaborate with other artists. We already have close to 100 people on the Discord right now, and it's nice, it's chill, it's a lot of fun. We get to see each other improve. If there's cool videos out, or if there's like a cool project or a game coming out or whatever, we all get to talk about it. It's not stressful. I try my best to make sure it's a nice, chill place that you can come and vibe, get away from all the drama, get away from all that. So I'm really excited about it. Also, a big thing is you will get exclusive discounts on all of the stuff I sell, whether it's art prints or tutorials or all that. And I'm talking some like steep discounts. Enough so that I know my patrons right now, they get a lot of stuff and they get it like 90% off. So it's one of those things, you know, I very much appreciate loyalty. I'm a big fan of rewarding people who reward you. I like to pay it forward and pay it back. So yeah, for $5, who knows, you'll get a $20, you know, maybe you'll get a $20 tutorial for free. You know what I'm saying? And that's like whenever they launch. And this year I'm going to be making a lot more premium tutorials as well. So there's just a lot going on. But I think now is the time to really launch that YouTube membership, just to see, just so you can even have exclusive polls to shape what the channel looks like. If you do have a very specific video you want to see, if you want to see Krita versus Rebel when it comes to like charcoal pastel pencils, that will be top priority. You know what I mean? That moves up the line if you're a YouTube member. So yeah, I'm excited about this. You know, I make pretty good money being a pro artist. That's why I'm able to be a pro artist. So this is not about the money. This is more so about building the community of the right type of people and the right mindset, bringing the channel forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, the people that are serious about it are the people that I want to hear from. And I think having the pro membership, the VIP package as it were, I want to give something back to you for your support, but also you're showing me directly that you're liking what's going on, that you would like to maybe see something tweaked, and I will take it under high advisement. You know what I mean? Now, I will say that at the end of the day, my rules, my channel, all that stuff. But seriously, you can even ask patrons, you can ask some people that have hung with me for a long time. I take their opinions very seriously, and that's a great way to go, in my opinion. So yeah, a lot of big news coming out. We're changing, kind of the shift in the perspective of the channel. We're doing VIP access. We're changing the game. We're changing what we're gonna do. So if you haven't checked out like the new episode of West vs. Backlog, it's about a game called Proteus. It's about an hour-long, crazy Doom style first-person shooter. Yeah, I got that new project going on, West vs. Backlog, or new old project. It was on hiatus for 5 years, but now it's back, and this is part of that. So yeah, brand new focus on the YouTube channel. I'm very excited. Also, another pretty big announcement is I think I'm going to be moving my live streams from Twitch to YouTube. And once again, YouTube members, you're going to have exclusive access to stuff. You're going to have badges. You're going to have, you'll be able to, if we have subscriber only chat, you'll be able to chat. No one else will. That type of stuff. You know what I mean? So really interesting ideas. So yeah, I know for a fact we're at least going to cross pollinate so far. So maybe do Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But really, I'm going to start making that jump to just live streaming to YouTube. So exciting stuff, man. A lot on the plate, a lot on the table. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm super excited about the future of the channel, and I'm so glad that you're here to be able to share in it with all of us. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that is my time. I'm Wes. You know where to find me. And hey, you know, if you don't want to sub, that's a-okay. Just you watching and commenting and stuff is way more than enough. You know, I appreciate you very much. But if you want to go that little extra mile, get some perks in the process, there you go, a little something for you. But that's my time. I will talk to you all very soon, and we will have that new art video to really kick things off up very, very soon as well. So until then, take care, go make cool art, and we'll see you soon.